Your soulmate wrote a secret love letter. You must read it before tomorrow. My beloved child, don't skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Before tomorrow arrives, there is something your heart deserves to hear. Somewhere between silent nights and hidden tears, your soulmate poured emotions onto a page that no one else was ever meant to read. Every word was written with trembling hope, every sentence carrying feelings they never found the courage to speak aloud. They believed the world would never understand what lived inside their heart, yet they could no longer hide it from themselves. This secret love letter was never about perfect words, it was about a promise they have been protecting for far too long. They kept asking themselves whether destiny would allow this message to reach you before it became too late. As you listen, pieces of that hidden letter will slowly unfold, and with every moment, the truth behind their silence will become clearer than ever before. Something inside that letter begins with a confession so unexpected that even your soulmate paused before writing it. They admitted that no matter how many people crossed their path, no one ever made time stop the way you did. They described the smallest memories. The smile you never noticed, the kindness you thought everyone forgot, and the quiet strength you carried without realizing someone was watching. They wrote that every goodbye felt unfinished because their heart believed another chapter still remained. Don't skip, because the next words changed everything. They confessed they almost destroyed this letter countless times, afraid you would never believe them, afraid that destiny had already chosen another road. But each time they reached for the paper, something inside whispered, "Not yet, they still deserve to know the truth." The final lines of this hidden message reveal why tomorrow matters so much. Your soulmate wrote that there comes a moment in every love story when silence becomes heavier than speaking, and they feel that moment has finally arrived. They asked the universe for one chance. For one unexpected meeting, one unforgettable conversation, one opportunity to replace unanswered questions with honest feelings. They ended the letter with words that have never been spoken aloud: "If our paths cross again, I won't hide anymore. I'll finally tell you everything my heart has been protecting. Stay till the end, because this is only the beginning." The next part uncovers the sentence they almost erased forever. The one line capable of changing the meaning of every moment you thought was ordinary. A strange feeling surrounded your soulmate the moment they reached the middle of the letter. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Their hands stopped for several minutes because they were about to write the one sentence they believed could change everything forever. They stared at the page, wondering if these words would ever reach your eyes. Finally, they wrote, "There has never been a single day when you were truly absent from my thoughts." They admitted they laughed in front of everyone while secretly wishing you were beside them. Every success felt incomplete because the first person they wanted to tell was always you. They never expected their own heart to become this honest, yet the paper refused to let them hide the truth any longer. Another page revealed something even more surprising. They confessed that they kept tiny reminders of you without anyone knowing. A simple conversation, a forgotten moment, a familiar place, even an ordinary song suddenly became priceless because it reminded them of your presence. They wrote that people believed they had already moved forward, but inside, they were quietly protecting a story that never truly ended. Don't skip, because the next line carried the deepest emotion in the entire letter. They admitted they were never waiting for perfection, they were waiting for courage. Courage to stop pretending. Courage to stop hiding behind silence. Courage to finally let destiny reveal what had been written in their heart all along. The last page contained a promise instead of a goodbye. They wrote that if life placed you in front of them again, they would no longer allow fear to make decisions. This time they would choose honesty over hesitation and hope over uncertainty. They ended that page by writing, "If you are reading this, then perhaps the moment I dreamed about is closer than I ever imagined. Stay till the end, because the next chapter of this secret letter uncovers the one memory they protected above every other memory, a moment they believed only the two of you could truly understand." A quiet truth was hidden between the folds of the final pages, and this is where everything became impossible to ignore. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate admitted there was one memory they returned to whenever life felt uncertain. It wasn't a grand celebration or an unforgettable adventure. It was an ordinary moment that everyone else would have overlooked. Yet to them, that single moment became proof that some connections are too meaningful to disappear. They wrote that while the world continued moving forward, their heart kept returning to that memory, believing it was the beginning of a story that had never truly reached its ending. Then came the sentence they almost erased forever. They confessed that they had tried convincing themselves to forget you, but every attempt only reminded them why they cared so deeply in the first place. They realized that true feelings do not become weaker with time. They simply become quieter until the right moment arrives. They wrote that they stopped searching for signs because their heart had already made its choice. Don't skip, because what comes next changes the entire meaning of this letter. They finally accepted that some people enter your life for a reason far greater than coincidence, and they could no longer pretend you were just another chapter. To them, you had quietly become the story itself. The very bottom of the page carried one final message that was never meant for anyone else to read. It said, "If tomorrow gives us another chance, I won't waste another moment hiding what has always been true." Those words remained untouched, as though they were waiting for the exact time they were meant to be discovered. Stay till the end, because the next pages reveal what happened immediately after this letter was finished. And why your soulmate suddenly believed that destiny had already begun bringing your paths closer than ever before. The moment the final sentence was written, your soulmate didn't close the letter immediately. They kept reading it over and over, as if hoping the words would suddenly become less powerful. But the opposite happened. Every time they looked at the page, the feelings grew stronger. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They whispered to themselves that this letter had become more than a confession, it had become a promise they could no longer ignore. For the first time in a long while, they stopped asking whether you would understand and started believing that one day the truth would find its way to you, exactly when it was meant to. As the letter rested quietly before them, another realization appeared in their heart. They remembered every unfinished conversation, every missed opportunity, and every silent goodbye that never felt complete. Instead of feeling regret, they felt hope. They wrote one more sentence in the corner of the page, almost too small to notice: "Real love never disappears, it patiently waits for the right moment to be seen." Those words became the heartbeat of the entire letter. Don't skip, because the next page reveals why they suddenly believed tomorrow could become the beginning of a completely different chapter, one they had imagined countless times but never dared to expect. Before carefully folding the letter, they smiled in a way they hadn't smiled for a very long time. It wasn't because every question had been answered. It was because they finally trusted that honesty was stronger than fear. They believed that if two hearts are truly meant to understand each other, the right message always arrives at the right time. And hidden inside the envelope was one last surprise they had not planned to include, a single sentence that could change the meaning of everything you've heard so far. Stay till the end, because the next pages uncover that unexpected sentence, the one that even your soulmate never imagined they would have the courage to write. The envelope remained sealed for a few quiet moments, yet one final thought refused to stay hidden. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate unfolded the letter one last time and added a sentence they never expected to write. It read, "If you ever wondered whether someone believed in you even when you couldn't believe in yourself, it was always me." Those simple words carried more emotion than every page before them. They weren't asking for anything in return. They only wanted you to know that your happiness had quietly become one of the most important dreams they had ever held inside their heart. As the ink dried, another memory suddenly returned to them. They remembered the exact moment they realized their feelings were real. It wasn't during a dramatic event or an unforgettable celebration. It happened in complete silence, when they caught themselves smiling at the thought of you without any reason at all. That unexpected smile became the answer they had been searching for. From that day forward, every plan they imagined somehow included you. Don't skip, because the next words reveal the biggest secret hidden inside the entire letter. They confessed that this wasn't actually the first letter they had written. There had been others. But fear kept every one of them locked away where no one could ever read them. Near the bottom of the final page, they wrote something that even surprised their own heart. "If destiny gives us one honest conversation, I won't waste another second pretending these feelings never existed." After writing those words, they carefully placed the letter inside the envelope, believing its journey had finally begun. But they had no idea that one unexpected event was about to happen before the letter could reach its destination. Stay till the end, because what happened next made your soulmate believe that fate itself had stepped in to protect this message until the perfect moment arrived. Just when everything seemed ready, something unexpected made your soulmate pause before letting the letter leave their hands. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. A quiet voice inside kept whispering, "Not yet, the perfect moment is closer than you think." Instead of feeling disappointed, they felt an unusual sense of peace. It was as if every delay had a purpose they could not yet understand. They looked at the envelope once more and smiled, believing that when this message finally reached you, every unanswered question would suddenly make sense. They trusted that some words become even more powerful when they arrive at exactly the right time. As the evening grew quieter, your soulmate read the letter one final time and noticed something they had never realized before. Every page spoke about hope instead of fear. Every memory pointed toward a future instead of the past. Without planning it, they had written a story that never truly ended, it simply waited for its next chapter. Don't skip, because the next discovery surprised even them. Hidden between 2 pages was a tiny handwritten note they had completely forgotten about. It simply said, "Some hearts recognize each other long before they finally speak." The moment they saw those words again, they knew this letter was more meaningful than they had ever imagined. Before placing the envelope somewhere safe, they gently whispered one final promise to themselves: "When the time comes, I will not hide behind silence again." That promise became stronger than every doubt they had carried for so long. They walked away believing that destiny had already started moving the pieces into place, even if neither of you could see it yet. Stay till the end, because the next chapter reveals the mysterious symbol they drew on the back of the envelope, a symbol with a meaning so personal that only one person in the world was ever meant to understand it. The next morning, before the envelope was placed where it belonged, your soulmate quietly turned it over and drew a small symbol on the back. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. To anyone else, it looked like an ordinary mark, but to them it represented a promise that could never be broken. It stood for every conversation that never happened, every feeling left unspoken, and every hope they refused to abandon. As they looked at that symbol, they smiled through quiet emotion because they believed that one day, when you finally saw it, you would understand why this letter had to remain hidden until the perfect moment. Then another memory surfaced without warning. They remembered a day when your paths almost crossed again, but life pulled both of you in different directions. For a long time, they believed that moment was a missed opportunity. Now they saw it differently. They wrote one final note beside the symbol: "Maybe we weren't separated, maybe we were simply being prepared." Those words changed everything inside them. Don't skip, because the next realization was even more powerful. They finally understood that true feelings are never measured by how often 2 people meet, but by how deeply they continue to value each other, even through silence and distance. As the envelope was carefully placed somewhere safe, your soulmate closed their eyes for just a moment and imagined the day this hidden letter would finally be opened. They didn't picture grand celebrations or dramatic moments. They imagined a quiet smile, a peaceful heartbeat, and the relief of knowing that the truth had finally found its way home. Deep inside, they believed the story was no longer waiting to begin, it had already begun the moment the very first word was written. Stay till the end, because the next chapter reveals the unexpected message tucked inside the envelope after it was sealed, a message so surprising that even your soulmate had forgotten they had left it there. Long after the envelope had been sealed, your soulmate picked it up once again for reasons they could not explain. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As they gently opened the flap, a tiny folded note slipped out from between the pages. They stared at it in complete surprise because they had forgotten they had written it weeks before. Their hands trembled as they unfolded the paper, wondering what their own heart had whispered during that quiet moment. The note contained only a few lines, yet those lines carried the deepest truth of the entire letter. It wasn't written with perfect handwriting or carefully chosen words. It was written with complete honesty, the kind that only appears when the heart speaks before the mind has time to stop it. The hidden note said, "If this letter ever reaches you, I hope you don't remember my silence. I hope you remember the way my heart always believed in you." Those words changed everything. Suddenly the letter was no longer just a confession, it became a bridge between two hearts that had been quietly waiting for the same moment. They realized that every page they had written was leading to this single message. Don't skip, because what happened next made them smile in a way they hadn't smiled for a very long time. For the first time, they stopped worrying about whether the future would be kind. Instead, they trusted that whatever was meant to happen would arrive at exactly the right time. Before placing the note back inside, your soulmate added one last handwritten sentence beneath it. They wrote, "Tomorrow is not important because time is running out. Tomorrow is important because I finally believe hope is stronger than fear." After reading those words aloud, they closed the envelope with complete peace in their heart. They knew the story was no longer hidden. It was simply waiting for the right eyes to discover it. Stay till the end, because the next chapter reveals the unexpected reason your soulmate chose a very specific date for this letter, a reason connected to a memory they have never shared with anyone before. There was one detail your soulmate never explained inside the letter, and it was the date written at the very top of the first page. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. It wasn't chosen by chance. It was the day they realized that some people arrive in your life without making a loud entrance, yet quietly become the most unforgettable part of your story. Every time that date returned on the calendar, they found themselves thinking about everything they wished they had said but never did. That single date became a silent reminder that real feelings do not disappear simply because they remain unspoken. Instead, they grow stronger, waiting for the right moment to be understood. As they looked at the letter once again, another realization filled their heart. They had spent so much time wondering if destiny would bring you closer that they almost forgot something important. The letter itself had already changed them. It had given them the courage to believe in honesty, patience, and hope. They quietly whispered, "No matter where life leads us, I will never regret writing these words." Don't skip, because the next discovery was completely unexpected. Tucked inside the envelope was a tiny pressed flower they had kept from a beautiful day they never wanted to forget. It wasn't valuable because of what it was. It was valuable because it reminded them that even the smallest moments can become the greatest memories when shared with the right person. Before putting everything away, your soulmate gently smiled and made one final promise that echoed louder than every page of the letter. "When the right time arrives, I won't let another chance pass by." Those words carried no fear, only quiet confidence that the story was moving exactly as it should. They believed the letter had already begun its journey long before anyone opened it. Stay till the end, because the next chapter reveals the final hidden page, a page that was never meant to exist, yet it contains the one message your soulmate has been waiting their whole life to say. My beloved child, don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Hidden beneath every page was one final sheet that your soulmate never planned to include. They found it only after believing the letter was completely finished. Unlike the other pages, this one had no crossed-out words, no hesitation, and no pauses. It was written in one continuous flow, as if their heart had taken control completely. The first line said, "If you are reading this, then my greatest wish has already come true, because my truth has finally reached you." In that moment, they realized this wasn't just the ending of a letter. It was the beginning of a promise they had carried silently for far too long. Every fear that once stopped them had faded away, leaving only honesty behind. The next lines revealed the deepest feeling they had protected all this time. They wrote, "You were never someone I wanted to impress. You were someone I hoped would truly understand me." Those words held a quiet power that no one else had ever heard. They admitted that life had given them many reasons to stay silent, but only one.